What if a simple act of kindness could change your life forever? This is the story of Kadiatu, a waitress in Freetown who made an unexpected choice, and how it led to something extraordinary. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with others. Leave us a comment below telling us what you think about Kadiatu's decision. And guess what? If you want to start earning money online while making a difference, just like Kadiatu does in this tale, click the link below. You'll get access to a 90% done-for-you profitable online business where everything is set up for you. No selling, no technical skills needed, just maximum profits in minimum time. It was late afternoon at one of Freetown's fanciest restaurants, Ocean Breeze Cafe. The tables were spotless, the waitstaff moved quickly between customers, and the smell of grilled fish filled the air. At table 7, John sat back comfortably as he finished his meal, a plate piled high with jollof rice, grilled chicken, and plantains. A young waitress named Kadiatu approached him holding the bill. "Sir," she said politely, "here's your bill." John glanced at it, then waved her away. "You can take that bill away because I'm not going to pay it." Kadiatu froze, unsure if she'd heard him correctly. "What do you mean, sir? You ate all this food here in the restaurant, and now you don't want to pay?" John shrugged, looking completely unbothered. "Miss, I have no choice. I don't have any money." Kadiatu felt her heart sink. She leaned in closer, trying to stay calm. "Sir, if you knew you didn't have any money, why did you order all this food?" He smirked, leaning back in his chair. "I wanted to experience sitting in such a prestigious place and ordering freely. Plus, I was hungry and had nothing better to do." Kadiatu couldn't believe what she was hearing. Her voice rose slightly. "Oh, so this is a joke to you? Do you realize what will happen if my manager finds out? He'll call the police." John crossed his arms, still smirking. "Calm down, Mississippi. There's no need to call the police. Besides, I can wash dishes or mop floors to pay off this debt." Kadiatu shook her head. "Sir, you don't understand. To pay this bill, you'd have to work here for free for 4 days. You ordered the most expensive dish on our menu." John raised an eyebrow. "So, what now? Are you going to call the police? Are you going to tell your boss? Or should I just leave?" Kadiatu sighed deeply. What was she supposed to do? Letting him go would mean losing her job, or worse, getting blamed for the unpaid bill herself. But calling the police seemed too harsh. Finally, she came to a decision. "Wait," she said softly. "I'll use my tip money to cover your bill." John looked surprised. "Your tip? That's your hard-earned money. Why would you do that?" Kadiatu straightened up, her voice firm but kind. "Because I don't want you to get into trouble. Now you can leave." John hesitated before standing up. As he turned to walk away, he stopped and looked back at her. "Wait a minute, Mississippi. Before I go, I need to say something. You have a very kind heart. Thank you for helping me today." Kadiatu smiled faintly. "Look, I didn't do this to be thanked. I did it because it was the right thing to do." John nodded slowly. "Well, know this, you'll be rewarded for everything you've done for me." With that, he walked out of the restaurant, leaving Kadiatu standing there alone. She glanced down at the empty table and sighed again. It wasn't fair, but at least she'd done the right thing. Little did she know, her small act of kindness was about to change her life in ways she never imagined. John walked away. Kadiatu called out to him one last time. "Sir, I understand your situation. Thank you for sharing your story with me." John stopped and turned around. His expression softened as he spoke. "You know, miss, there was a time when I had everything: money, success, a big company. I could walk into any restaurant, order the most expensive meals, and never worry about paying the bill. But life has a way of changing things. Now, here I am, unable to even afford a single meal. My pockets are empty, but at least my stomach is full now. So, thank you." Kadiatu nodded, feeling a mix of sadness and admiration for the man. "Take care, sir. Maybe things will get better for you soon." With that, John turned and left the restaurant. As Kadiatu watched him go, her boss, Mr. Joseph, approached her. "Elaine," he barked, glaring at her. I saw you talking to that scruffy guy over there. What was going on? Kadiatu hesitated, unsure how much she should reveal. Oh, boss, he just had questions about how the food is prepared here. I was explaining it to him. Explaining how it works? Mr. Joseph snapped. I don't want any of my employees wasting their time talking to that kind of person, do you hear me? Kadiatu frowned, confused. What do you mean by that kind of person? Mr. Joseph rolled his eyes. Look at him, Elaine. Just look at his clothes, he's dirty, smelly, and probably homeless. When he came in here, he contaminated the whole place. That's the last time you talk to someone like that. Next time, I'll fire you. Kadiatu felt anger bubbling inside her, but she forced herself to stay calm. Boss, I was serving him the same way I serve all other customers. I didn't think there was a problem. Well, there is a problem, Mr. Joseph interrupted. I don't want to hear about you serving him again, understood? Get back to work. Yes, boss, Kadiatu replied quietly, though she didn't agree with what he said. Before walking away, Mr. Joseph reached out and snatched the small pouch from her hand. And give me this back. Are you trying to take my money? It's not your money, it's my tip. Kadiatu protested. Patience, Elaine. Patience, Mr. Joseph sneered before striding off. Later that evening, while cleaning up the kitchen, Kadiatu stumbled upon a bag filled with leftover food. She asked another employee about it. What's this? She questioned, holding up the bag. The coworker shrugged. Oh, that's the boss's stash. He sets aside leftovers every night. Says it's too good to waste. Kadiatu raised an eyebrow. But why doesn't he donate it or let us take some home? There are plenty of people who would appreciate it. The coworker laughed bitterly. Because he doesn't care about anyone but himself. To him, it's just easier to keep it for himself than share it. Something clicked in Kadiatu's mind. She marched straight to Mr. Joseph, determination written all over her face. Boss, she began firmly, I found this bag of leftover food in the kitchen. May I ask why you're keeping it? Mr. Joseph looked annoyed. What does it matter to you, Elaine? It's none of your business. It matters because we throw away so much food here every day, Kadiatu pressed on. People outside are starving, yet you hoard these leftovers. Why can't we use them to help others? Mr. Joseph scoffed. Help others? This isn't a charity, Elaine. We're running a business here, not a soup kitchen. But it's still food going to waste, Kadiatu argued. Wouldn't it be better to give it to someone in need instead of letting it rot? Mr. Joseph stared at her for a moment, then shook his head. You're too soft-hearted for this job, Elaine. Don't bring this up again. Imagine standing up for what's right, even when no one else seems to care. Kadiatu faced challenges head-on, refusing to let injustice slide, even if it meant risking her job. Now think about yourself, how far are you willing to go to make a difference? Whether it's standing up for kindness or building a future where you call the shots, taking action is key. And guess what? You don't have to start from scratch. Our done-for-you online business system gives you everything you need to succeed without lifting a finger. Click the link below to learn more and start earning today. Your future self will thank you. Kadiatu couldn't believe what she was hearing. But boss, if the food is already going to waste, how does it hurt to give a little to the street dogs? I didn't think there was any problem with that. Mr. Joseph's face turned red with frustration. Of course there's a problem. I don't want to hear about you doing this again. You're going to take that food and throw it straight in the trash. If the dogs want it, they can rummage through the garbage and eat it there. Kadiatu clenched her fists but said nothing. She knew arguing further wouldn't help, and another thing, Mr. Joseph added sharply, pointing toward the restrooms. The women's bathroom is dirty, and so is the men's. You'll clean them both. Kadiatu blinked in disbelief. Boss, but that's the janitor's job, not mine. The job is for whoever I say it is. Mr. Joseph snapped. If I told you to clean, then you clean. Understand? Kadiatu nodded reluctantly, though inside, she felt defeated. As Mr. Joseph walked away, she muttered under her breath, God, I hate that man. I'm only working here because it's the only option, and my mother needs my help. I'll keep going. Stay strong, Elaine. Stay strong. Later that evening, as Kadiatu was mopping the floors after a long shift, she heard the sound of footsteps approaching. It was John, back again, this time accompanied by a woman who looked strikingly similar to him. "Hi, miss," John greeted her warmly. "So, what are you doing here again?" Kadiatu smiled faintly. "Just finishing up my shift, sir." "Well, young lady," John continued, gesturing to the woman beside him, "I came here because I wanted to introduce you to my sister." "Sister, this is the girl who bought me lunch earlier today. She paid for everything." The woman stepped forward, her eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you so much for your kindness. My brother told me all about what you did for him." Kadiatu shook her head modestly. "I understand your gratitude, but as I told your brother, it was no big deal." And honestly, she hesitated, glancing around nervously. "I almost got fired because my boss said I wasn't allowed to talk to him. He also banned him, and now you too, from entering this establishment. So, I'm asking you to please leave." John frowned deeply. "What? But you almost lost your job because of us. I don't understand. You're such a kind-hearted person. Why would he do that?" Kadiatu sighed, lowering her voice. "It's not you, it's my boss. He's ignorant, but I'm asking you to please understand me." "All right. Don't worry about it. I know you came here because your sister wanted to meet me, but it's better if you go now." John exchanged a glance with his sister. They both seemed torn between leaving and standing up for Kadiatu. Finally, John spoke again. "We won't cause trouble for you, Mississippi. But please know this, you deserve better than how he treats you. Someone like you should be appreciated, not pushed around." Kadiatu felt tears welling up in her eyes, but she forced herself to smile. "Thank you, sir. That means a lot. Now, please, go before my boss sees you." As John and his sister left the restaurant, Kadiatu returned to her cleaning duties. Despite the weight of her situation, she felt a small spark of hope deep inside. Maybe one day, things would change for her. Maybe one day, she'd find a way out of this place and into something better. John's sister hesitated for a moment before speaking up. "Miss, is there any way you could get me something to eat too? It's just that I'm very hungry." Kadiatu looked at her, surprised. "You're hungry too? But I don't know how to help you. The only money I had was the tip I used earlier today to pay for your brother's lunch. I haven't served anyone since then because my boss told me to clean the tables and wash the bathrooms. I don't have any money left." She glanced around the restaurant, feeling helpless. "And besides, you ate dishes here that I haven't even tried myself. I don't know how to help you now." John's sister smiled gently, trying to reassure her. "Ma'am, don't worry about it. You're not obligated to feed all the homeless people out there. We're used to going without food sometimes, it's part of our life. One day we win, another day we lose. But thank you anyway for everything you've done." Kadiatu felt her heart sink as they turned to leave. Before they could walk away, she called out, "Wait a minute. I know how to help you now. There are some snacks in the kitchen, I'll go get them for you to eat. But I ask that you please eat them outside, okay? Otherwise, it'll cause problems for me." John nodded. "Okay, but how are you going to pay for it, miss? Didn't you say you don't have any money?" "I'll ask them to deduct it from my salary," Kadiatu replied quickly. "But please, don't come inside. Wait for me here, and when I bring the snacks, eat them outside." John and his sister agreed, stepping back outside while Kadiatu hurried into the kitchen. She grabbed a few leftover snacks, some bread rolls, fruit slices, and a small container of rice, and wrapped them carefully. Just as she was about to head out, she heard an angry voice behind her, Elaine. It was Mr. Joseph, glaring at her with fire in his eyes. "I want to know who gave you permission to take food from my restaurant to feed those bums." Kadiatu froze, clutching the bag tightly. She took a deep breath and faced him. "Boss, you forbade me from talking to them, but you didn't say anything about selling them food, right? So technically, I'm not breaking your rules." Mr. Joseph's face twisted in frustration. "Ah, I see what you're doing. Clever, aren't you? But let me make one thing clear, if I catch you doing this again, you're fired. Understand?" Yes, boss, Kadiatu said softly, though her hands trembled slightly. She quickly walked past him and stepped outside, where John and his sister were waiting patiently. Here you go, Kadiatu said, handing over the bag of snacks. Please eat these outside, like we agreed. John's sister opened the bag and gasped. Oh, miss, this is more than enough. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do this, John added, his voice filled with gratitude. You've already done so much for us. Kadiatu shook her head. It's no trouble. Just promise me one thing, don't come back here again. My boss is already upset, and I don't want to risk losing my job. John nodded solemnly. We understand, Mississippi. And thank you once again. People like you remind us that there's still kindness in the world. As they walked away, Kadiatu watched them disappear into the evening crowd. Despite the risks she'd taken, she felt a strange sense of peace. Helping others always came with challenges, but deep down, she knew it was worth it. Joseph crossed his arms, his tone sharp and unforgiving. You sold it. So where's the money then? Kadiatu swallowed hard, trying to stay calm. Oh, well. I paid for it, boss. Paid for it. Mr. Joseph snapped. Let me see the money. Kadiatu hesitated before explaining. Boss, since I didn't have any cash, I left it on my tab. You can deduct it from my salary at the end of the month. Deduct it, he roared. Do you think we sell on credit here? We don't sell on credit in this restaurant. Since you went ahead and served those beggars over there, I want the money now. Kadiatu felt her frustration bubbling inside her. Come on, boss, it's because you told me to clean the bathrooms and also clean the tables. I haven't served anyone this afternoon, so I didn't get any tips to pay you now. That's not my fault. Mr. Joseph leaned closer, his voice dripping with anger. That's your problem. I didn't tell you to serve those kinds of people. Figure it out. Search yourself, you must have something. Before Kadiatu could respond, a customer nearby stepped forward. Excuse me, miss, the man said gently. I overheard the conversation you were having here. I've got some change that I collected on the street earlier. Can you take it and pay this guy? I'll pay you back later. He handed the coins to Kadiatu, who quickly passed them to Mr. Joseph. The boss snatched the money without a word and turned away. Fine. But you haven't cleaned the bathrooms yet, have you? Go clean them now. As Kadiatu walked off to finish her tasks, the kind stranger shook his head in disbelief. You know, miss, I thought we were the poor ones, but some people are poor in spirit, huh? Kadiatu forced a small smile. That's true, sir, but I ask you not to pay attention to that. It's just how things are. The man paused for a moment, studying her face. Wait a minute, Mississippi. Let me ask you a question. How can you accept your boss treating you like this, humiliating you, mistreating you, yelling at you? How do you allow this? Kadiatu sighed deeply, her shoulders slumping as she spoke. Unfortunately, sir, I don't have any other option. I need this job so badly because I need to help my mother. She's sick, and she can't afford her medication. So, I work here every day to support her. That's why I put up with everything you've seen. The stranger nodded slowly, his expression softening. I see, Mississippi. I understand, it's quite complicated. But let me ask you one more question. Do you believe in God? Kadiatu looked at the stranger, her eyes filled with sincerity. Yes, sir. I believe in miracles too. It's God who keeps me going. He gives me the strength to work every day and endure all of this. The man smiled warmly. That's what matters, Mississippi. And let me tell you something, I'm certain, from the bottom of my heart, that you're going to be a very prosperous person one day. Kadiatu felt tears welling up in her eyes. Wow, thank you so much for your kind words. I really believe in God, and I know He will help me for sure. But we have to go now, sir. Take care, and have a nice day. That's right, the man said as he waved goodbye. Keep trusting God, okay? All right, Kadiatu replied softly, watching him leave. Bye-bye. Later that afternoon, Kadiatu was tidying up the dining area when she heard the sound of footsteps entering the restaurant. Looking up, she saw a couple walk in, dressed elegantly and exuding confidence. "Hello, everyone. Good afternoon." Mr. Joseph greeted them enthusiastically. "Welcome to my establishment. Please come in and make yourselves at home." Kadiatu couldn't help but notice how wealthy they seemed. She whispered to herself, "Wow, I really lucked out today, didn't I? These people look like they've got money. The tip will be good." The couple glanced around the restaurant, clearly impressed. One of them spoke up. "This seems like a nice place. So, folks, would you like to sit here, or do you want to go to the VIP area in that room? I'll take care of you personally there." The woman shook her head politely. "I appreciate your attention, but I'd prefer that waitress over there to serve us." She pointed directly at Kadiatu.mr. Joseph frowned slightly. "What do you mean, my friend? I'm sure she's just a waitress. I'm the owner of this restaurant." "Yes, I'm sure I want her to serve us," the woman insisted. "Is that a problem?" "No, no problem at all," Mr. Joseph replied quickly, masking his irritation with a fake smile. "I'll go get her. Just a moment." He hurried over to Kadiatu. "Elaine." "Hi, boss, I saw that couple at that table over there. They look like they've got a lot of money. I wanted to serve them, but they said you should." Mr. Joseph nodded curtly. "Go on, then." "All right, boss." Kadiatu straightened her uniform and approached the couple with a polite smile. "Good afternoon. Welcome. I hope you feel comfortable here today." The men chuckled lightly. "Thank you very much, Mississippi. But unfortunately, we didn't come here to eat today." Kadiatu blinked in confusion. "You didn't come to eat? But why?" The woman leaned forward, studying Kadiatu's face closely. "Well, it seems you have a pretty weak memory, huh? Don't you remember us?" Kadiatu tilted her head, trying to place them. "Oh, wait a minute. Is it you?" She gasped, recognizing John and his sister instantly. "But this has to be a joke, right?" John grinned widely. "No joke, Mississippi. We told you we'd repay your kindness, and we always keep our promises." John reached into his pocket and pulled out a thick envelope, placing it gently on the table. "Miss, this isn't any kind of joke. I came here to repay you somehow since you helped me and my sister when we were going through a difficult time. This shows that you're a very good person, with a kind heart and strong character. And for that reason, I want to reward you." He slid the envelope toward Kadiatu. "Here, Mississippi. Here's 3,000 leones. I want you to accept it, for everything you've done for me." Kadiatu stared at the envelope in disbelief. "Sir, is this money, for me?" "But what do you mean?" "Yes, miss," John replied firmly. "This money is for you. You deserve this, and much more." Kadiatu shook her head, overwhelmed by the gesture. "Wow, sir, but yesterday, you were here asking for help. I helped you, and now everything has changed so suddenly. I don't understand anything." John smiled softly. "What we did with you was a little test, to see your character. It showed that you're a very good person, Mississippi. And remember what I said yesterday? That God was going to bless you somehow. Well, here it is, a way of thanking you. Look, miss, this is just a small part of everything you're yet to receive." Before Kadiatu could respond, Mr. Joseph stormed over, his face red with anger. "Folks, sorry to interrupt, but here in my restaurant, it's like this. My employee can't receive a tip without having done the job or provided the service. And another thing, she doesn't deserve that money." John stood up abruptly, his tone firm. "You're the one who doesn't deserve it. Elaine deserves that money, and much more. People like her are rare in this world. And another thing, it's my money. If I want to give her 3,000, 5,000, or even 9,000 leones, that's my business, not yours." Mr. Joseph glared at him. "First of all, lower your voice when you speak to me. You're in my restaurant. I decide who comes in and who goes out, and you're invited to leave." John didn't flinch. He turned to Kadiatu calmly. "Elaine, take the money. Don't worry about him." Kadiatu hesitated, looking between John and her boss. Finally, she reached for the envelope, clutching it tightly. "You can return it if you want," John added gently. "But my friend, relax, you didn't come here to eat today. We came to repay kindness. That's all." John gestured toward his sister, who stood beside him with a warm smile. "Elaine, this is my sister, Kayla. She doesn't live here, she lives abroad. We came here because we want to open a restaurant in this city. And as I told you before, we did a test with you to find out what you're like. Apparently, you're a good person, you have a good heart, empathy for others. It's people like you that I want working with me." He paused, then added earnestly, "I'd like to ask you something important. Would you accept being the new manager of my restaurant?" Kadiatu's eyes widened in shock. "Manager? Me? But why did you choose me?" John nodded confidently. "Over the last 5 days, I've visited every restaurant in this city. And let me tell you, the only place I found humanity wasn't really the place, it was you. You showed kindness when no one else would. That's why I believe you're perfect for this role." Kayla chimed in, her voice gentle yet firm. "In our network of companies, we have several restaurants outside the country. It's an international chain. I'd love for you to work with us, Elaine. You bring something special to our team." Mr. Joseph couldn't contain himself anymore. He stepped forward, his face twisted in anger. "Look, man, are you trying to steal my employees right under my nose? You can't just waltz in here and take her away." John raised an eyebrow at him. "Steal your employees? Let's be clear about something. This isn't slavery. If Elaine wants to leave, she has every right to do so." Mr. Joseph sneered. "Oh, but she has an open-ended contract with me. She can't leave." Kadiatu frowned. "What? Open-ended contract? What does that even mean?" Mr. Joseph smirked triumphantly. "It means you're stuck here until I say otherwise." John shook his head in disbelief. "You think that matters? Look, sir, Elaine is leaving, and you're going to clean the bathrooms and wipe the tables yourself if you keep treating people this way." Kadiatu looked between John and Mr. Joseph, her mind racing. Finally, she turned to John and asked hesitantly, "But, what exactly would you need me to do? I'm not sure I know how to run a whole restaurant." John placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Elaine, you can relax. I'll teach you everything you need to know. Kayla and I will guide you every step of the way. You already have the most important qualities, a kind heart and integrity. The rest will come naturally." Kayla smiled warmly. "And remember, my friend, you lost an excellent employee today. Maybe next time, treat your staff with respect, and they won't leave." Kadiatu took a deep breath, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. "Okay. I'll do it. I'll take the job." Mr. Joseph threw up his hands in frustration. "Unbelievable. Fine, go ahead, leave. But don't expect me to give you a reference." John laughed lightly. "Don't worry, Miss Elaine. You won't need one. Your actions speak louder than any piece of paper ever could." As Kadiatu walked out of the restaurant alongside John and Kayla, she felt a weight lifting off her shoulders. For the first time in years, she felt hopeful about her future. "Hey, Elaine," John said as they reached their car. "Come back tomorrow morning, we'll explain everything you need to know and introduce you to the team." Kadiatu nodded, smiling brightly. "Thank you so much. I won't let you down. Good deeds bring great things. Let us do good without caring who receives it, and without expecting anything in return. Sometimes, the smallest acts of kindness can lead to life-changing opportunities." This story reminds us all that kindness isn't just about giving, it's about creating ripples of positivity that touch countless lives. Whether it's lending a helping hand or standing up for what's right, every action matters. If you enjoyed this video, leave your comment below and share it with someone who needs a little inspiration today. Remember, the world needs more people like Kadiatu, people who choose kindness even when it's hard. And if you're ready to create positive change in your own life, click the link below. Start building a brighter future for yourself while making a difference in the world. Together, we can turn kindness into success.